There is a saying, if it's too good to be true, usually it is. To simplify, when you hear something is so favorable for you, then you need to do following. Run away. It is a sign of potential scam, fraud, deception, and the list goes on. But let's go start in chronological order. In 1920, 100 years ago, a gentleman called Charles Ponzi promised he could double your money in 90 days. Well, guess what? He didn't. But millions of people believed him. In 2016, Ruya Ignatoa launched OneCoin, a cryptocurrency that didn't even exist. She vanished. The money didn't. Then came Jay Mazzini, Sam Bankman-Fried, and the charming crypto Bonnie and Clyde couple. They all run crypto scams. But today it's about OmegaPro. What OmegaPro? OmegaPro engineered a global belief system. This isn't just a crypto scam. This is a blueprint of manipulation. And today we break it down. I want to share with you before we continue some facts, because my podcast it's about facts, not opinions. So before we continue, I want to share with you the fact about who is crypto and Bitcoin millionaire. The percentage of cryptocurrency users who become millionaires is low, tiny, with a new report estimating it around 0.02%. This means that out of the millions of people who have invested in crypto and Bitcoin, only a small fraction have accumulated 1 million or more in digital assets, according to a new World Report. A report by Henley and Partners found that approximately 172,300 people worldwide hold over $1 million in cryptocurrency. Let that sink with you. 0.02%. Hello, all of you risk takers and truth seekers to the podcast Live the Battlefield, where we don't just expose scams, we decode deception. For those who don't know me, my name is Mario Bekes. I'm the Guinness World Record holder for the longest audio broadcast. As well, I survived 1,800 consecutive combat days in war. My background spans in military security intelligence services, as well in diplomatic intelligence operation, and decades of high-level investigation. I'm the best-selling author, and everything I share with you, everything comes from experience, not theory, facts, not opinion. And today's episode isn't about fame. It's not about motivation. And it's not about making millions on Amazon. It's about truth, the fact. It's about trust. It's about facts matter to you. Because the scam you about to hear, well, it fooled millions in plain sight. Not a Spanish prisoner this time, but something far more modern and far more dangerous. This is OmegaPro. Crypto scam at its best. So guys, lean back and enjoy. Today we're gonna do the dissectomy about OmegaPro, because I want you to remember 0.02% are people millionaires in crypto. Everybody else is losing money. Now let me share with you about who and what is the OmegaPro. OmegaPro launched in 2019, of course, as a revolutionary trading platform. Same as Charles Ponzi, they promised 300% returns in just 16 months. They claim they use elite brokers, artificial intelligence, predictive technology. But it's real innovation? Well, it was how to manipulate the trust. That's the innovation. Truly, they innovated the new level of manipulation. OmegaPro targeted Latin America, Africa, South Asia, Eastern Europe. People in countries where banks failed them but dreams still lived. Now, behind sleek dashboards and smooth talking leaders, there was no AI. There was no trading, no audits, lies, just a brilliantly engineered illusion of wealth. Let's get into mechanics, because this is where it gets surgical. Step 1 is indoctrination. New recruits were added to Telegram groups. Why not? Because they don't talk to you in face-to-face. They're talking to you in Telegram groups. They fed a steady diet of success stories, testimonial, rank promotions, motivational quotes, like a Jay Shetty. Yes, ask a question. You're removed. You're doubting the numbers while you are accused of sabotage. Victims weren't just recruited, they were conditioned. This is cognitive isolation, something I've seen in spy networks, war zones, and of course in corporate espionage. But that's where everything just become interesting. You know the Burj Khalifa? Yeah, let me share something to you. Let me demonstrate to you how trust is built with new clients. Remember I told you Burj Khalifa? Can you imagine? The tallest building in the world. It's in Dubai. This is where disconnect between appearance and reality kicks off. After all, this podcast is about exposing modus operandi of deception. And this time deception came in the form of the spectacle. OmegaPro projected its logo onto the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building on earth. Guys, can you imagine? Company and their logo on Burj Khalifa. Do you need more justification, more credibility? No, they are on Burj Khalifa. However, they are not endorsed, they just paid commercial. But how does this look like in family in Nairobi, to young men in Medellin? That logo said, we are global, we are legitimate. Join us, give us your money. Look at us, we're in Burj Khalifa. That moment became their credibility anchor. Use it in every recruitment pitch, replayed in every summit, and that was, guys, visual warfare. Because if you are putting your logo on a Burj Khalifa, you have the all credibility. Next thing comes through engine, the pyramid called MLM. For those who don't know, this is better known as a multi-layer marketing, in other words, Ponzi scheme. Perhaps you were the part before of MLM. Let me remind you of some MLM businesses. Failed to produce wealth to its member, Herbalife is on a number 1. Then we have Amway. Same goes for OmegaPro. OmegaPro didn't sell a product. It sold recruitment. Titles like Blue Diamond, Crown Ambassador, all based on how many people you brought in. Churches become hubs. Family recruitment, families. It wasn't the finance. It was financial cannibalism. The more trust you had in your community, the more damage you could do. So, for those who remember the Herbalife or Amway, remember you buy all this rubbish toothpaste, cheapest products, but then to you make the money, you need to bring people with you into that cult to purchase from you and more toothpaste and more cheap products which nobody doesn't want, nobody doesn't need them in their life, and they don't know what to do with them. But you bring your friends, your families, because they know what? They know how to manipulate. That's what the OmegaPro is about. They knew how to manipulate. They have all the mentors, Amway, Herbalife. That's what it is. I was a part of that circle. Not in Herbalife, but in Amway. I was being asked to purchase something. They purchase more, they bring their friends. And I suddenly found myself recruiting people for somebody else's pocket. I don't make the money. Actually, I try to recover my money, but you cannot recover your money because you're manipulated into the lies and deceive. That's what they did. They lied and deceived hard-working people. So remember, when you hear MLM, run. It's a Ponzi scheme. Run away. Then come tech smokescreen. Crypto. All deposits made in Bitcoin and USDT. No banks, because banks can track you. No oversight, no accountability. Every transaction went straight to the wallets controlled by who? Not by you, but by the founders. That being said, US Department of Justice confirmed there was no trading, no platform, just blockchain addresses and digital black holes. I'll repeat this again. Digital black holes. They utilized tested modus operandi from OneCoin and Ruya Ignatova. Of course, every beginning has the end. And as you know, when you talk about money, people start asking questions. Well, once upon a time, I was a part of that MLM, and I asked why I can't recover my money. As soon as you start asking these questions, you are being portrayed as a saboteur, somebody who they cannot trust. We give you the title, you're the ambassador. Ambassador to who? Same happened to OmegaPro. In late 2022, things start to crack. Withdrawals stalled. People start asking questions. Now, OmegaPro responded with a classic misdirection. What is that? When you invest in money on some platform, you don't know where that platform it is. They have no physical address. Ask yourself, guys, when you invest money, who do you invest in money? If nothing else, go on Dr. Google and ask the holy grail of the knowledge. Who is this company? Do they have address? Who are the people running that business? OmegaPro responded with the classical misdirection, as any Bitcoin and crypto company. A new platform called Broker Group. Better tools, better access, safer system, but it was all lies. It was all fiction. Accounts frozen. Funds vanished. Communications shut down. And OmegaPro disappeared. As they appeared, they disappeared. In July 2025, US prosecutors indicted Michael Sims and Juan Reynoso. Others were arrested in Istanbul, in Turkey. The Department of Justice called it a fraud from the beginning. No trades, no transparency, just deception. Over 2 million victims across 175 countries. Justice arrived too late. Very too late. A Ghanaian woman borrowed from her saving circle. A pastor in Nigeria brought in his entire congregation. A Filipino couple sold farmland to upgrade their rank. When it collapsed, they weren't just financially ruined. They were socially exiled, ashamed, silenced. I've seen this kind of trauma in war, in betrayal, in loss. Scams don't just steal money, they steal identity. I want you to think about this, what I say. They steal your identity. Okay, some people got paid. Early investors received real money. Early investors. That's how you build momentum. That's how you silence critics. But those weren't profits. They were bite. Use it to validate the trap. That's what they did. Some of them got the money at the beginning. OmegaPro wasn't an accident. It was architecture built on psychology and psychological control, visual manipulation, crypto camouflage, and social trust. And the next OmegaPro, it's already being built. New name, same blueprint. I want you to hear me. To where victim stands, to every victim, to everybody who's been conned into that rubbish, that lies, that deception of how you're going to become the very rich 300% return, 100% return. Guys, the banks don't give that percentage. Do you really believe that somebody somewhere across the globe is going to give you 300% return? Take a deep breath before you invest your money. But to every victim, I want you to know you were not stupid. You were targeted. To every listener of Life the Battlefield, question everything. When someone sells you certainty in uncertain times, you are already their mark. I am Mario Bekes, and this is Life the Battlefield, a show that gives you the space to be seen, be heard, and be known. Stay vigilant, stay human, and never, ever stop asking questions. Feel free to subscribe, share, like, and comment. Are you the victim of the Ponzi scheme, multi-layer marketing, or crypto or Bitcoin scams? Thank you for watching.